And we are live for episode 18 of SWA Action.
It's not a bad name for our weekly series, SWA Action.
There you go. You heard it here first. Now we'll just have to work on the branding for that as we kick this one underway. Yeah, which is coming up very soon. Next week will be our season-ending pay-per-view. This is the final weekly show of season one, as it were. Some pretty big matches tonight.
Yeah, it's an exciting time, and wrapping up a really fantastic season of SWA competition. A lot of really interesting things to come, both tonight and at the pay-per-view. Obviously, more to come on that in the coming days, but it's crazy. It's an important moment for us, and we made it through a whole season.
Yeah, I think it's no surprise we've done something a little similar before, but the formatting works a lot better. The participation's been nice from the community, and we're excited to keep it going into our next season, see what else we've got in store, see some familiar faces, some new faces, and just see what kind of crazy stuff we can get into, especially now that we've got a full season under our belts and a lot of data and information about most of our competitors.
True, yeah. Having matchup data, things like that will make it interesting to all this analysis won't just be talking out of our ass anymore, I guess.
For the first
or maybe
time.
It will. Who knows?
We kick off tonight, though. We've got so the Golden Trial Tournament has been going on over the course of the last 3 weeks, and including tonight. Huge impact there, because the person that comes out on top of this tournament will earn a shot at the champion. Current SWA World Champion is Tomio Yamaguchi. And, we've had some really good matches so far. This is a concluding match for one of our divisions. It's between Kyo Sankari and Eddie Vortex. Now, unfortunately for these two, they both sit at 0-2 so far, so they're out of contention for that title shot, but still a lot on the line as they wrap up the tournament here. You don't want to go through defeated. So one of these two really going to be looking to get a win and at least come out of the tournament with some momentum in their corner between Sankari and Vortex here.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, it's not all negative energy or whatever. I think that there's still a lot to take from a win and a solid performance in this tournament, which was like not weak competition, right? All of these guys are in this tournament because they're good competitors, and so I think walking away with some momentum and some pride in what you did, even if you don't come out on top, is still a great thing to do, and it helps you get the right foot going forward for your next match, and then start that snowball. Maybe have a winning streak, and then you find yourself at the top of the rankings. That can all start tonight.
Yeah, and this is, of course, a Division A matchup in the Golden Trial Tournament. These two drew, a pretty tough go, as DDT and Painwrecker, the other two members of that division, both sit at 2-0, and they will close our show tonight in a one-on-one matchup to conclude their runs in the tournament, the winner of which will win Division A.
Yep.
And it's a testament to those two, really, that Vortex and Sankari sit at 0-2, because they've really laid it on the line and made a big name for themselves. Painwrecker sits at 4th in our power rankings. DDT sits in 6th. We're not talking about any slouches here. It's great competition, and now they'll be able to settle this. One of them's going to come out of here with a win, and one of them's going to go home empty-handed here in the tournament.
Yeah, and I think for either, I think you're right. It's not a thing to be sad about, because this has been really strong competition. These guys are all great, but somebody has to lose each match, and these guys have been on the short end of the stick so far. But like you said, one of them comes away with a win here tonight, and I think can hang their head high because they've performed great even in losing efforts tonight, and I'm sure we'll see more of that. But early on here, looking like back and forth affair.
Yeah, really pretty well scouted from both sides. We've seen a number of strikes just perfectly countered here as Sankari goes for a little single leg Boston Crab, but Vortex is right at the ropes, just bad positioning there. Breaks the count immediately. You know, Sankari we haven't seen in a couple of weeks. Vortex had a pretty solid match last week against Painwrecker that Painwrecker came out on top of, but there was a lot of support for Vortex in that one. It looked like he might come out with a win. Kind of a last second loss for him. So, you know, it hasn't been a bad tournament showing for either of them, despite their current standings.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Eddie last week, like I said, you know, ended up losing, but can be proud of that performance. That was good work, and can do the same here tonight and maybe come out with a win. But continuous just back and forth affair as Sankari with a standing backflip to get himself hyped.
Yeah, Vortex is going to want to not be on the receiving end of those kicks from Sankari. Sankari, one of the more proficient strikers, as he goes for a cover here, gets a 1 count. One of the
not going to be enough.
Strikers in the SWA, and those boots to the gut, not going to feel good. Vortex finally catches one, gets back to his feet.
Again with the snapmare and back down. Sankari really kind of looking to work slow here, it seems. Interesting choice. The submissions, the rest holds. As a striker, you think he'd maybe work fast and, you know, just kind of end it quickly. But maybe he's scared of Eddie's athleticism.
Well, and, you know, perhaps he watched the match last week where we saw Vortex was kind of high-octane, nonstop offense. When Painwrecker kind of finally slowed it down, got some offense going his way, that's when he really took over the match. Maybe Sankari's trying to avoid that altogether and slow down Eddie from the start.
Yeah, doing your research. That's smart, doing your research. I think you may be right. And, yeah, here he's controlling not only the pace of the match. Oh, as a stiff clothesline from Eddie, but I was going to say also the geography, right? Controlling the location. And a big Northern Lights suplex, but a kick out immediately from Eddie Vortex.
Vortex going to be feeling that one. Might have used what he had to get out of that pin attempt.
Which is a silly choice because you can't score a pinfall on the outside. What's he thinking?
Yeah, a bold decision from both competitors really there. And Vortex jumps out of the way of that kick.
Uh-oh. Stretching him here and down on the face.
Really not the place you want to be if you're Kiho Sankari all.
Uh-oh, what's Eddie thinking here?
Vortex has gone to the apron. Seems to be asking Sankari to get to his feet, and over he goes. My goodness.
With that plancha to the inside. It's a full, I think, a 360 on the corkscrew and covering a lot of ground. Only a 1 count to show for it, though. This is, of course, Eddie.
And a cutter from Sankari. I think he got a lot more of that one than Vortex got of the corkscrew.
And the disrespect. Oh, my goodness.
He's looking for a cover. He's got a 2 count before Vortex is out.
Man. Who better than Kiho Sankari with the cutter out of nowhere? He's looking for something here.
The discus elbow connects clean, and Vortex is out center of the ring. That's got to be it. 1, 2, and 3 for Kiho Sankari.
Great work by Sankari. Biding his time, picking his spots well. Keeping the pace controlled, I think, like you pointed out. He noticed that worked for Painwrecker. He kept it relatively slow, didn't really let Eddie get going too much. And, oh, wait, what do we have here? Uh-oh.
Sankari's going back for more.
Continued disrespect by Sankari.
SWA faithful not going to be happy about that one. Eddie struggles early, but is got himself a little bit of a fan base, despite the lack of wins so far. And Cory gets himself a nice win there and a little extracurricular activity there at the end.
Yeah, even in the match, he kind of showed that sort of disrespect there by feigning the little stomp to the face and then just kicking him. I don't know if something tipped him there and just kind of sent him over the edge or what, but my gosh.
Next up, we got Cory Quinn taking on Merciless Mason Jones. For Quinn, it's been an interesting run so far here in the SWA. He was up and down quite a bit in singles action. 4 and 6 right now, sits at 18th in our power rankings. For Jones, it was a hot start that has been followed by a little bit of a struggle. 2 and 4, 29th in the power rankings. For Cory Quinn, though, the interesting point is that we saw him matching up with his brother Matthew a fair bit in the tag division. 3 and 1 as a team together, but we haven't seen them paired up in quite some time. And of course, with Jamie and Noah holding the tag championship for the SWA and for the Quinn brothers, all eyes are kind of waiting to see how the Quinn brothers will be involved at our next pay-per-view, and if the tag titles will be on the line.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of anticipation around that. But, it's always been interesting. Cory, in particular, going back to our inaugural tournament, has always felt like sort of the singles man of the brothers, right? I think Jamie and Noah are the tag specialists. Matthew has tagged with Cory some, but Cory has always felt like sort of the singles guy, and he had a solid run in the tournament, beating his own brother in the first round. And that really gave him a lot of momentum early on. But like you said, since then it's not been great, and he's ended up in this sort of middle ground where he really needs kind of a signature win, a signature moment to kind of help elevate himself. And I think maybe he's hoping to get the momentum going that direction tonight as he faces off against Mason Jones, who also needs that kind of win.
Yeah, both of these competitors are actually 2 matches below 500, so, needing to get a win in their column for sure, get themselves going in the right direction. And, it can be tough. It can be tough once you start to kind of fall down the rankings like that to get it under control. Tonight's a great opportunity, too, as we head into our final pay-per-view of the season. Not a lot of opportunities left to do that here in our first season. Tonight would be a good place to start, and then see if we'll see if we see either of these two at our pay-per-view coming up next week.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see.
We've got the bell underway, and we're kicking off our second match of the night. Mason Jones starts hot, but Quinn back to his feet with a nice counter. A lot of black and red in this one. Big knee drop onto the face of Merciless Mason Jones.
And Quinn looking to get assertive here early, I think, but may not get his way.
I mentioned this with Cory. Jones also a bit of a striker. We'll see how that comes into play as the ref seemed to have caught the brunt of that one.
Oh, that brain buster.
He's
probably good the ref didn't see it.
But yeah, Jones is not, after a pretty devastating impact to the back and top of his head. And now Cory's going for a quick cover, but gets nothing. Nice Hurricane Rana takedown from Jones. Really surveying his opponent here. Got him kind of locked up here. A little bit of pressure on the left arm, but Quinn trying to get to his feet. Gives him a nice gut punch. But
yeah, that rocked him.
On the drop kick.
It's not what you want.
And another punch and another drop kick with nobody home. Neither of these two seem to be able to land one here. Maybe time to go to the toolbox and find something else. And that's just what Cory Quinn has done. And now it seems to be going up top.
What's he thinking here?
Connects with Jones there, now setting him up. Oh,
that sit out face buster. Man, it's a lot of impact right on your mug.
What a combination for Quinn. He might have put away Jones here with a combo from the top and right into the face buster. What a win for Cory Quinn. Puts away Jones in a pretty quick fashion.
Pretty convincing win, I gotta say. You know, I mentioned that he kind of needed a signature win. I don't know if this was it, but I think this is at the very least some momentum. That was a pretty definitive performance with the swanton right into that butterfly sit out face buster. Man, good work by Cory Quinn.
You can see the effect of that impact there. Jones pretty much never showed signs of being in this match after that. A nice combination from Quinn, gets himself a win, his 5th in the SWA, and gets himself a little bit of momentum going in the right direction here.
Yeah, and that's good work. I think that's, like I said, I think it may not be a signature win. It's a step in the right direction. I think that's something you can be proud of. Cory Quinn, the singles Quinn, back at it. Maybe he's got some momentum going into the pay-per-view and then into next season. Be here before you know it.
Yeah, right around the corner. It's a good time to point out that if you haven't joined us yet, or if you're missing, some of your points, some of your updates, next week, the deadline for getting those things in, you can still join and back claim up to your entire season's worth of training. So still the ideal time to join without missing out. And you don't want to miss that if you're thinking, I want to get involved, but I'm not quite sure if I want to yet. Now is the time to do so. With just this week and next left in our first season. But coming up, we've got some singles action between the Phoenix, Diego Mercer, and Gonzo McLovin.
Yeah, this is the first of a couple matches on our card that feature tag team competitors, but not in tag team action, of course.
Yeah, we've seen quite a bit over the last few weeks. I think all of our official tag teams and some tag matches over the past few weeks, and we're not quite sure what to expect out of the tag division at our pay-per-view because the Quinn brothers have just run through everyone. 9-1 as a whole. Jamie and Noah are 6-0.
Yeah, they've just steamrolled everybody.
Since winning the title, they've defended it twice and look near unstoppable. So someone's going to have to stand out from the crowd, and perhaps a start at doing so tonight, even in singles action. Good chance to show what you're capable of in a one-on-one situation. Of course, Mercer is accompanied by his tag partner, Dead Peace, here tonight. Other member of Dead Fire, Eric Draven, in a very important match later on. He is in the thick of the GT tournament and will have his own fate in his hands later on tonight. So not involved here, but Dead Peace accompanying Mercer to the ring here tonight.
Yeah, all three members in some pretty high stakes matches, and so it's a big time for Deadfire. especially as they seek to really cement themselves as members of the SWA.
Mercer's going to be facing off against Gonzo McLovin here tonight. Mercer is 2-2 in singles action. Deadfire as a whole 4-4. So we've seen quite a bit of 500 action from this team, and they're really looking to get things above that marker, get things up in the realm of title contention in the tag division for sure. Gonzo McLovin sits at 2-4 in singles action so far. A couple weeks ago, he had a pairing with the Machine, in which the two won that match. The only time we've seen them work together, either one of them, in a tag match. And word is that the Machine will be ringside tonight with McLovin. So perhaps that partnership is growing and blossoming into a little bit more than just a one-off pairing.
Yeah, it seems like maybe they felt some magic between them. And I think it's interesting if you think about McLovin and the Machine, not unlike Deadfire when they formed, right? A bunch of guys who kind of needed a little extra momentum to help sort of push them on their own way, right? A couple of guys who haven't performed super well as singles performers. And so getting out of singles competition into tag competition, maybe, shake things up, let you get a fresh start.
Yeah, sometimes you just need a change in plan, change in scenery. The style of wrestling is a little bit different in the tag division, and maybe it's more suited to their skill sets and working together. It was a first-time pairing. We didn't know what to expect, and they showed pretty good cooperation and teamwork. And, we haven't seen that from everybody that's just been paired up here in the SWA. So maybe they've got that special something that can, shake up the tag division a little bit and get someone that looks like they might, be real contenders to the title.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think... we've talked about how the Quinns have steamrolled the division, and I think now the stage is set. Oh, as the ref goes down, just obliterated by Gonzo McLovin. I think the stage is set for that next team, right? That challenger to the title to step up and make themselves known.
Yeah, and that's the second time already we've seen our ref here tonight take a shot. We'll hope he's all right and able to continue clean. Diego Mercer's pace has been red hot to start this match. He has been all over Gonzo McLovin so far. See if Gonzo
come out
can turn things around.
He's come out with a fire in his belly, you might say. As Gonzo immediately looks to snuff it out by slowing all this way down.
And, that's probably what you'd expect out of Gonzo, and really the pairing with the Machine as well. A little bit slower pace than perhaps the athleticism and energy of the Phoenix here. Diego
The big,
Mercer.
strong boys, but they move slow. That's okay, because they're still great.
Oh, and whiffs on the clothesline. Mercer
Yikes.
Underneath it.
The height difference working to Mercer's advantage there, surprisingly.
And he really capitalizes, although McLovin now has gotten back to his feet as well.
Yeah, that Hurricane Rana there looked nice, but you got to keep going on that. And a big drop kick. My goodness.
Levels Gonzo, and then to the top rope he goes.
A big splash. A lot of impact coming down on the chest and torso area of Gonzo McLovin.
Ooh. And the pop-up drop kick lands cleanly. McLovin with a nice counter, trying to get something going his way. It looked like he was in the danger zone there.
It did indeed. Yeah, that was a really lucky time to get a counter because couldn't have gone much longer. Again with this Hurricane Rana. Great work by Diego Mercer continuing to control the pace here.
Oh. And there seems to be a steel chair in the ring, I believe, courtesy of the Machine here.
I can neither confirm nor deny what I've seen, but my goodness, that's scary if you're not paying attention.
And the ref doesn't seem to be, but
what is he thinking
Mercer
here?
has gone to the other corner. Oh, and he's all the way across.
And I think he hit
to coast.
It looked a little weird from that camera angle, but it did look like he connected flush with the face of Gonzo McLovin, who's going to be feeling that. And the ref distracted here by the Machine. What dastardly actions.
We talked about their cooperation. A well-timed save from the Machine, and the chair actually proves as a little bit of a distraction as well. Might have saved McLovin, but he catches another of those drop kicks.
And I think he might be bleeding after that one. Diego Mercer is very upset right now. He's seeing red.
Busted open indeed, and Mercer with a nice counter, and then just whips himself around the body of McLovin for the takedown. Now he's got some words from Machine, who continues to be a incredible distraction for his teammate here tonight.
Yeah, that's some really wily stuff. I mean, as long as you can do it without getting caught, I suppose it's fair game. It's a risky choice, though. Interesting tactics, but they certainly seem like a team now, I have to say.
Ooh. Oh! I think Mercer thought he was in the place he wanted to be, and McLovin really turned that one around.
Yeah, and cranking on that neck now, too, not letting the head get any recovery. Going to work repeatedly on that head.
Gonzo survives the coast-to-coast, courtesy of the Machine, and he's really rolling now. Taking Mercer for a ride all the way.
3 German suplexes.
Suplex City here. Now Dead Peace not taking too kindly to that. He gets involved up on the apron.
Some more teamwork from the established tag team. I think that's good work by Dead Peace, helping out his man in the same way that his opponent was helped out.
The ref might need to get control of both of these men at ringside here, as Mercer
third time's a charm with that Hurricane Rana
back on his side, and now he may be going back up top. He's been successful up there so far. Now he's just perched on the top turnbuckle. Maybe doesn't like what he sees.
McLovin's moving a bit there. I think maybe he's worried he might be playing possum.
And Gonzo thought he was getting away, but the elbow lands clean on the back, and another pop-up drop kick.
And that lower back, the elbow to the lower back, man, that's a really devastating combo of attack and placement, because lower back pain can take you out. You'd be unable to walk, be unable to lift another person. You can't use your legs right. That's a really good spot for that. And I think Gonzo's going to be feeling it here if he can't end this quickly.
And the resiliency of McLovin, however, though, as he's kept the offense up.
With the pedigree.
Hits it clean. And he's got about a 6 count, but Dead Peace with a perfect distraction here for the Deadfire pairing.
You can already see the stakes. These guys know the stakes of these matches. And a fantastic sunset flip powerbomb there from Diego Mercer, who's going up top once again. But you see that both of these tag teams know how important every match is right now.
Oh,
with the Phoenix Splash. My goodness.
The Phoenix himself lands it clean. 1, 2, and 3. What a win for Diego Mercer. Survives the distractions. Both sides used them effectively, and Mercer got all of that Phoenix Splash.
He sure did. That was as clean a connection as I've ever seen. And Gonzo McLovin looking disappointed with himself there.
Yeah, and with the pay-per-view coming up and The tag division, the contenders not sorted. We'll see what sort of fallout a match like that has on the tag division, despite it being singles action. We know that McLovin and the Machine seem to like working together. Deadfire looked like they worked pretty well together tonight, and we'll see what else is in store for our tag division as a contender needs to rise to the top if someone is going to take down the Quinn brothers. But first up, we've got our next match cruising right along here. Dr. Morbius taking on Yasuke Bozeman.
And this match between a couple of guys who, had some momentum early and entirely lost steam. And I think could be an interesting case study in sort of like, not desperation, that seems dramatic, but like, the urgency of the need of a win, if that makes sense.
Yeah, wins and losses important here in the SWA. Both of these competitors actually need a win to get back to 500 here. The Doctor is 1-2 since his debut. He had a great run in the Rumble at Right to Fight, but hasn't fared quite as well in singles action since then. Yasuke Bozeman sits at 4-5 in singles action. He's been really up and down. A fan favorite, I'd say, here in the SWA was one of Songgrace's picks as part of his team at End of the Line and was critical to that team's win, but hasn't always put it together in singles action here in the SWA. 4-5. He sits at 15th in the power rankings.
Yeah, I think he's been one that, we think of his fantastic performance in the Chamber way back at Countdown. Great work, really impressive stuff. And on top of that, earning his spot in the Chamber after initially being scheduled in the Path to Glory match. He performed so well against Benjamin Goldenberg that those two actually ended up swapping places, with Bozeman earning a spot in the Chamber. Some really bright stuff from him early. We've seen that he has what it takes, but as of late, just something missing. And I think maybe he's hoping here tonight he can figure out what that is and sort through his problems.
He's certainly got his supporters, and he's got the talent to compete with just about anybody on the roster. He's really just got to string it together in a series of matches. He's coming off a loss against Warren Windham. Needs to get himself a win here tonight against Dr. Morbius. But Morbius, sort of similar situation, looking to get himself going. He's still early on in his career and, wants to hot shot himself to the top here. And a win against Bozeman would be a pretty good notch on his resume.
Yeah, it would. I mean, Bozeman, like we said, has had good performances, so this is a chance for a significant win here. But it's not going to be easy.
Well, a win tonight would the expectation would be that it would be well earned from one side or the other. It's Bozeman off the ropes and over the back of the Doctor.
It's a long way to fall. He's a tall man.
Morbius got that headlock locked in, saving himself some energy while refusing to allow his opponent to get much back here. But Bozeman is going to work to his feet and deliver some elbows to break out of that hold.
Big Russian leg sweep by Bozeman as he's going to work now on Dr. Morbius. Try to inflict some pain here.
Now going for the cover. Not sure that it's going to be enough. He might have got one, but not much more, if at all. Into the corner. Tries to deliver the knee, but Morbius with a nice catch. And is delivering another Thez press. Morbius throwing the right hands effectively tonight.
And heavy punches. Uh-oh. Go for a sharpshooter here. That's a little unexpected, I gotta say, but Morbius breaks out of it easy enough, or maybe Bozeman let him go?
You might have got a hold of the rope there. Tough to say. We've seen Bozeman get some submission victories. It's one of the effective tools he used to end the line. So not out of the realm of possibility that he could force Morbius to submit here.
Oh, my.
Gonna have some other words about that. Sends him all the way to the outside.
Just completely dropped him like nothing touching the apron. He had a long way to fall for that.
Morbius with a nice DDT and goes right into the cover. Ref down, and he gets a 1 count. Shoulder up for Bozeman.
Bozeman has always been known for his resilience. I think we're seeing that early on here tonight as he gets dumped outside again. He only just climbed back up. But he's a resilient performer. He's an athlete of the highest caliber, and he's got a lot of heart. So you can't count him out at any point.
Morbius off the ropes with a big leg drop. Drives the head of Bozeman into the mat. Now he's looking for a cover. Has he done enough to put away Bozeman? 1, 2, and 3. Yes, he has. Dr. Morbius gets the victory.
That's some pretty incredible work by Morbius. Once he kind of got the upper hand, he really never let it go. He started off, kind of trading blows with Bozeman, but got the upper hand, kept the pressure on, kept the momentum in his favor, and closed it out.
See that DDT there, a little bit of a turning point. This leg drop, the finishing touch that Dr. Morbius needed. He used his environment effectively, his environment and gravity, sending Bozeman off the top out of the ring to the outside, inflicted a lot of damage, took a lot out of Bozeman, and Dr. Morbius gets his second win, moves up to 2-2, and that'll help him out in the standings for sure.
Yeah, that's a strong win. He can be very proud of that one. Good work by Dr. Morbius. Hopefully righting the ship and, aiming his star upward in the SWA.
Certainly the trajectory you want to be on, especially early on, when there's not much to evaluate off of. The better your record is, the better you're going to do in the SWA. Next up, we've got more singles action between some tag competitors here. We've got the first time we'll see Onyx Stone in singles action, taking on El Puma, who sits at 12th in the power rankings at 3-3 so far.
Yeah, and this is another one with some big implications. These guys all know about that power vacuum at second place right now, but being second gives you a chance to challenge for that top spot. And these guys know that there's big things coming, and they need to be doing whatever they can to put themselves in the right position. So I think this one will be an exciting match, high stakes.
Yeah, I'd say some of the matches tonight perhaps allude to the fact that there's no standout in the tag division, and something is going to have to be done about that if anyone's going to stand up to the Quinns, who have just sat atop of the tag division. Jamie and Noah undefeated in the SWA so far, so unhinged here. Slate and Onyx, they've had a pretty good start to their career, but they've dropped 2 matches to the Quinns. Fuerza Mayor, Domingo Cervantes had an incredible run as SWA World Champion, and Puma won our Rumble at Right to Fight. They're both decorated singles competitors. Haven't really put it together yet in the tag team division, but they're both incredibly talented. You got to figure you put those two together, eventually they're going to get it right and be a formidable team. Tonight in singles action between Onyx and Puma, we'll see what sort of things this leads to down the line, because the tag division, as we've said, is just a bit of a mess in terms of who's going to rise to the top to challenge the Quinns.
Yeah, I think every single one of these competitors wants to be that team to challenge them, but you got to do something to make yourself stand out. And when you're given singles matches as an opportunity, maybe that's what you take. Or maybe there are bigger implications here. Who could say?
Could certainly be a sign of things to come as we prepare, of course, for our season-ending pay-per-view next week. Big things in store for that, for sure. SWA pay-per-views have been some of the best nights in the company history, and no doubt we'll have some great action next week as well. Onyx going to work here with the right hand, not too surprising from the big brute.
A big knee in the corner.
Just a little short on the drop kick.
Got to learn to know your distance better than that. That's not how you want to start a match like this. And real clash of styles here between these two. Obviously, there's a size disparity. Puma's more like the size of Slate Stone, although not exactly. But also the clash of styles. You've got Onyx Stone, the brawler, and Puma, a bit of a high flyer here, even as he's sort of a striker on the ground. He really likes to get going off the turnbuckles and the rope. Even a 1 count for that disrespectful stomp by Onyx Stone.
Yeah, that's not going to get it done. Clothesline in the corner doesn't connect either, but does get a hit in before Puma can take advantage. He'll try perhaps another corner here, once again, to no avail.
Well, these guys learned these corners are dangerous.
Finally, perhaps gets something going. Gets Puma in that trio woe. Applies a little pressure to the neck with the boot there. Uppercut from Stone. Really kind of slow and methodical for Onyx so far.
Electric chair here.
Puma in a bad position. Center of the ring laid out. Now going for the cover. 1, 2, and shoulder up at about
Wait a
2.5.
Wait a minute. Nobody kicks out of the one-winged angel. What's happening here? Puma, you're disrespecting things, exposing the business.
Onyx is not happy about it. Up and over for Puma. Nice neck breaker counter there.
Going to work on the head here, it seems. But Onyx able to get out just fine.
Maybe looking for a little belly-to-belly suplex, but a nice counter by Puma gets himself out of it. And into the corner goes Onyx. The kick lands and...
Is that Gamengiri, followed by the cartwheel moonsault.
Lands it clean right into the cover. Has he done enough to put away Onyx? 1, 2, and kicked out.
It's not enough. Puma's got the momentum going, but he needs to keep attacking here. He's got to stay on the front foot. You can't let your opponent's tag team partner distract you, as we've seen here. And a half Nelson slam, rather. Sorry.
Onyx seems to be pulling on the mask there of Puma. Hits another uppercut.
A basement uppercut might be enough.
Goes for the cover. Ref takes his time getting there, and he's out at 2. Man, if that count had started right away, could have been dangerous.
Enough.
Once again, we go into the corner here. And once again, Onyx Hits that clean slate, going for the cover, center of the ring. 1, 2, and 3. Onyx Stone gets himself a singles victory.
And a decisive one at that. A nice back and forth match. Both men looked strong, but Onyx did a good job of controlling the momentum. Once he got on top, he remained there. He controlled it, put it away. Great work by Onyx Stone, and I think the Stones are going to be happy here. Meanwhile, Puma and Fuerza Mayor continue to struggle to put it together. It's been a rough go for them lately.
They certainly need a shot in the arm to get something going between the two of them and also just individually. But we move things right along. Our second to last match of the night and the first of our final 2 GT tournament matches here tonight. Golden Trial, our division winners will be wrapped up in our next 2 matches. Now, Eric Draven, the one to watch in this matchup. Paragon not had a good run so far, 0-2. He's out of contention, but he has the opportunity to play a little bit of spoiler here. Eric Draven is in no matter what. At 2-0, if he falls to 2-1 here with a loss to Paragon, he will be tied with Sangres for the division lead and division win in the GT tournament. But Draven controls his own fate because with a win, he moves to 3-0 and walks away with a Division B title, which will earn him a shot at the Division A winner.
And which would mean that both of our division winners will end up undefeated, which is pretty incredible given the competition in this tournament.
And I'd say Draven's got a pretty good shot at it. Not to discredit Paragon, but he hasn't had the run you would want from the big super heavyweights so far in the tournament. But on the other hand, you know he's got to be thinking that this is an opportunity to get a win over a super hot competitor who's been on the rise quite a bit in our standings. Draven has climbed up to 10th in the power rankings with 4 straight singles wins in a row. He's on a bit of a streak here. A win by Paragon would get himself going in the right direction, make him come out of the tournament with something to hang his hat on, and would also play spoiler a little bit for Draven, who's going to be in no matter what. But Draven wants to win this division clean.
Of course, and who wouldn't at this stage? I mean, he's already got 2 great wins. Why would you not want to make it 3? But, you mentioned that Paragon hasn't had the greatest run, and I think that's fair. But also, when you look at him, he is the leanest 400 pounds I have ever seen. And believe me, I've seen a lot of 400-pound men. So he's strong, he's athletic. And I think that kind of stuff can't be underestimated in sort of moments of desperation. You can do incredible things.
And so the interesting thing, to follow will Draven win this clean, or will Sangres get a chance to tie for that division lead? And
Sangres is watching closely.
Yeah, he's got it pulled up in the back. Plenty of Sangres fans are rooting for Paragon in this one. Sangres has definitely, gathered himself a following in the SWA, and would love to see himself with a chance at the title. But that requires a Paragon win, and Draven, like I said, has just been on a roll here lately. 4 singles wins in a row. He's looked nearly unstoppable since Right to Fight.
He really has, and displaying that signature resilience we see from Deadfire and we saw from Diego Mercer earlier tonight. But sometimes I just look at Paragon, and in the movie Ant-Man, it's in Captain America: Civil War, when Ant-Man gets big and he's like the giant version of Ant-Man. He just looks like that. He's such a large person. And it's a lot to overcome purely from a physicality standpoint, because I believe Eric Draven's a cruiserweight. And, he's got to do a lot of work to wear down some of that strength and size.
Yeah, I think Paragon is all of 0% body fat. in that super heavyweight frame, and he's the largest competitor in the SWA as Draven gets a 1 count on the attempt there. 400 pounds makes him the heaviest competitor in the SWA, and Draven not the lightest. That distinction belongs to Songgrace, who did win against Paragon, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that a smaller competitor can get a win against him.
Indeed.
But we'll see what sort of tricks Draven has to use to take down the giant here.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be similar to Songgrace's approach. I think, it's a matter of speed and of quickness and keeping control of things. Because, right, if he's always on the defensive, then he can't get any offense in, right? So.
And the strength there, just the shoulder block levels Draven. That's the kind of the offense you've got to see from Paragon. Is a lot of power, and there's some dumping Draven on the top of his head. But Draven floats over there and avoids more disaster.
Got single leg drop kick to take him down to the mat. Going to work on him some more here, it looks like. And another stiff drop kick backs it up. Yet again, pulling him to the middle. This time for a pin. What's he thinking here? I think it's too early. I don't know what you do there. Only a 2 count. But Draven's going to need more than that.
Not quite enough yet, but he sets him up and hits the black leather mass and right into the cover. Has Draven done it and wrapped up his division? Yes, he has. 1, 2, and 3. Eric Draven goes 3-0 and wins Division B here in the Golden Trial Tournament.
Great work by Eric Draven.
And there will be no chance for Songgrace here, and Draven, on the other hand, is not done with the super heavyweight.
Draven's going to show him where he can take that dump truck of an ass as he gets out of Draven's ring.
Puts him down and out without question. Draven walks his way into the division title and will face the winner of our next match to determine who will get a title opportunity. Coming right up, our main event, Daniel Drake Thomas the Fed taking on Painwrecker. Both of these competitors 2-0. Both control their own fate. Win and you take home the division. Lose and you finish 2-1 and you had a good run, but you got nothing to show for it.
Yeah, and even winning the division, you still may have nothing to show for it because you have to face this fired up on a roll Eric Draven. But that's a question for another night. To get there, you got to win this match right here, and this is a big one.
Yeah, for both of these competitors, this is what it comes down to: fate in their own hands. And like you said, you got to get through this one to get to Draven. One step at a time. You can't be looking past an opponent, especially when your opponent is of the caliber of both of the 2 men in our main event here tonight. The Fed sits at 8-3, 6th in the power rankings. All 8 victories have been via submission. He is what you call an artist in that area. Painwrecker, on the other hand, sits at 4th in our power rankings, 9-2, only 1 loss since the inaugural tournament. He has been one of the more surprisingly underrated, despite being one of the best talents in the company. A little bit under the radar, but he's seeking his 10th victory here tonight. If he does so, he would join Triple G as only the 2nd competitor to get to double-digit singles wins.
Yeah, and that's a big, big milestone. I think you're right. I think Painwrecker has somehow flown under the radar, despite really just being on an incredible run. Obviously lost in the tournament early on, But since then, only one loss and consistent good performances and big wins from him. I think people are starting to kind of come around and recognize what a threat he is in this competition. And next on his list, Daniel Drake Thomas.
Yeah, and the good news for Painwrecker is that it doesn't actually matter what the public opinion of him is, because he's got the chance to take matters into his own hands, and he has in this tournament so far. And we'll see if he's able to do so tonight against DDT, because a win here and he's got a chance to have a match that'll determine whether or not he gets a title shot. Doesn't matter what else his resume says, it matters if he wins this tournament, and that is completely up to him. But of course, same can be said for DDT, who has been one of the favorites in the SWA, has been easily the most unique in style. He's the only competitor to secure every victory by submission, and easily has the most with 8 of them. He'll be looking to employ that tonight against Painwrecker, but my understanding is that Painwrecker is one of the best in the business at finding way out of and resisting the submission attempts.
Yeah, he's very skilled at that. He's practiced a lot, and it's a wise thing to be good at. Because we have a handful of folks here in the SWA who are, like you said, submission artists, and boy is DDT one of them. If the wrestling mat is a canvas, the brush that he paints with is bending people's appendages in ways that they're not supposed to be bent.
Yeah, and he's probably not the only artist that paints that way, but perhaps the only one that does so in the squared circle, as it were. As Painwrecker dumped off the top rope. Nice counter by DDT.
And looking for some kind of suplex or something, but Painwrecker getting flipped over, and now back on top again. It's a nice chain wrestling here. And a stiff right to get out of it. And wrenching on that arm.
Working the left arm, but Painwrecker rolls right out of it. And that's the sort of counter ability that we might expect out of Painwrecker. He's pretty good at getting out of submissions, but DDT pretty good at working into some weird and unique holds.
Who came up with that? What is that move named after? Because it's insane. And stretching out that arm, maybe looking to apply a submission of his own, or at the very least weaken the ability of DDT to execute those submission maneuvers.
Yeah, and maybe show that he's not a one-trick pony either. He's not a submission specialist per se, but can work it into his offense.
Yeah, he has the skill. It's just not his primary way of operating. I think that's not a bad idea, but ultimately, in this match, with all of this on the line, I'm more worried about winning than I am about showing what I'm capable of.
Ooh, and a couple of nice counters to both sides, going for strong rights that just didn't land. And DDT with a nice neck breaker. Now repositioning Painwrecker and going for a cover here. He's not going to get his first ever pinfall on that one, just a 1 count.
And that almost felt like he didn't really believe in it. He didn't really want to get a pinfall there, but it kind of felt like too silly of a chance to pass up. But now really trying to go to work in the corner, and it doesn't pay off for him.
It so rarely does here in the SWA as he transitions into another hold on the left arm, but once again, Painwrecker able to sneak his way out of that.
Back to the corner, and maybe it has paid off now. Painwrecker seems to be bleeding from the forehead.
A strong impact off that top turnbuckle seemed to have busted Painwrecker open indeed. And now going to work on that arm again. DDT's
pulling it out of socket
has been focused on the left arm here. Wise decision to work a single body part. Now.
Got a headlock, but a quick rope break, it seems like. But yeah, DDT pulling that left arm out of socket, stretching the shoulder. Going again for the pinfall here, but no dice.
Just a 1 count. One of the interesting things to note as DDT works his way through this tournament, the current SWA World Champion is Tomio Yamaguchi, his tag team partner as a member of Dirty Deeds. See what sort of ramifications that will have if DDT can continue to progress in this tournament. Could lead to an awkward situation, much like the one we saw from Puma and Cervantes with the float over DDT there for Painwrecker, though. Maybe he's looking to make sure that DDT never has that problem.
That's a big brain buster.
Brain buster indeed. DDT is in trouble. Painwrecker going for the cover. 1, 2, and shoulder up. 2.5. Painwrecker can't believe it.
DDT is not done yet. He's not out of this fight yet, but Painwrecker wants some more. He's telling him to get up.
Can't say I blame him. It seemed like it was over and that he had won this division, but not quite yet. Now DDT goes for the ankle, and he's got it. Center of the ring, right where he wants him. And look at Painwrecker.
Oh, look at this.
He gets out of it immediately. And just bitch slaps DDT. Not having it.
He is not feeling it. Painwrecker fired up right now. Reversing out of the ankle lock is a huge deal. I don't think that's ever been done in the SWA. But still not enough to keep DDT down. He's going to have to put in some more work here.
Certainly the quickest we've ever seen anybody get out of that maneuver. And Painwrecker is looking on fire right now. He survives perhaps the deadliest move from the submission specialist.
Continued stomps to the face after the fact.
And now locks in an arm bar of his own, doing some damage to the left of DDT.
You know, it's an interesting strategy choice there by DDT. You know, the ankle lock has obviously been a key move in his arsenal to really finish off opponents, but he's been putting in work on the arm. Why go for the ankle there? Why not go for the arm? Why not try to put him away on the body parts you've already weakened?
Now he's working on it again.
Got that deep ankle lock.
Position again. Painwrecker utilizing a similar opportunity to break out of it, and does.
The fireman's carry. What's he thinking here?
Oh. Just rams the back of the neck into the top turnbuckle. Now
lifting him up.
Has him up on the top. A dangerous predicament for DDT as Painwrecker going up with him.
What's he thinking here?
Off the top.
And a huge superplex from the top. It's a long way to fall, covering a lot of distance.
And
DDT
Painwrecker
not out of it.
to get him back to his feet, and then what an elbow.
I think he busted DDT open. I think we got some more color in this match here. Oh my goodness, these men know what's on the line, and boy, are they leaving it all in the ring. Again, working on that left arm.
Focuses on the left, but in a bad position this time. A rope break once again for Painwrecker. And the Fed going for another pin, and he's on the ropes, and he almost gets him. 2 count. Ref never saw it. Almost got him with the ropes as leverage on that pinfall.
It's very close, but not enough.
Ooh, and another big elbow. And Thomas is just coated in his own blood right now.
Interesting, especially given that Thomas is the one who's been bleeding for less time, but Painwrecker has managed to open that wound up really wide, and it's just gushing blood.
Floats over another DDT, center of the ring.
That already injured head, my goodness, how it must be feeling right now.
Painwrecker trying to catch his breath. He might have wasted some time there. Now goes for the cover. 1, 2, and Thomas is out.
It's not going to be enough. You got to capitalize on those moments. You can't wait that extra beat.
Misses the kick, but then counters and keeps up the offense. Painwrecker continues to find an extra gear and drops the Fed on the head once more. Brainbuster, center of the ring. 1, 2, and 3. Painwrecker secures his division.
What an incredible performance by both men, but especially Painwrecker. There at the end, once it felt like he had the momentum, he just couldn't let up, and he didn't. He fought back from a couple of ankle locks, got out each time, and just kept on the offensive. Great work. Incredible stuff by Painwrecker.
Painwrecker earns himself a date with Eric Draven to determine who will be our GT winner and have a shot at the SWA World Championship, as well as getting his 10th victory in the SWA, the second competitor to do so, joining Triple G there. And Painwrecker has been on fire. Draven has been on fire. These two are going to have a hell of a match, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it, and with such high stakes, I mean, what more could you ask for? It's primetime entertainment right there. Get your popcorn ready for that one.
A killer main event to close us out here, episode 18, the last of our weekly shows before we head to our pay-per-view, the season-ending pay-per-view of SWA action. A lot more news on that coming up soon. That pay-per-view will be coming next week, the middle of next week, in fact. And we look forward to seeing you there. We're going to have a lot of action to cover. Going to have to see what is going on with the tag division after some of these singles matches we saw tonight and some tag matches we've seen over the last couple of weeks. Have to figure out what is going on with the conclusion of the GT tournament, the Golden Trial. Not to mention that we've got world champion Tomio Yamaguchi and the Quinn brothers, tag champs. No clue what is going on yet with them. We're going to have a lot of great action in store, and we hope to see you there. Thanks for coming out tonight. We'll see you next week, and have a good weekend.